Welcome back to the channel, and here we are going to look ahead to that massive game in Paris on Saturday night between the world champions, the Rugby Championship champions, and the Six Nations champions, France and South Africa. A quick wrap-up of the top 14 and Pro de Deux, and just general musings from our life, which has been quite busy in the last week. I've been over in America, just literally got back off the plane, and Joe Worsley got a new gig, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. It's fascinating. I mean, Breathe, obviously this summer I split ways with Breathe. But yeah, Perpy are calling. Perpy are in a situation unfaced by any top 14 club before. They won their first point in the weekend. We'll go through what happened in the top 14 shortly. But yeah, I'm here for a massive challenge, but I can't wait. It's an amazing club with a great history, incredible place. It was 25 degrees and sunny today. I've just had an incredible meal in an incredible restaurant. It's all going to be good.
Yeah, Joe, if you hadn't seen the headlines and the stories breaking, new defence coach at Perpignan, as Joe said, got their first point in the top 14. Actually, let's just wrap up. Let's really quickly wrap up the top 14. There is one match this weekend, and that is the previously cancelled fixture between Toulon and La Rochelle due to that biblical
monsoon,
rain. Yeah, but there's no top 14 rugby for the next couple of weeks while the focus is very much on the French national team, and we'll certainly get to that. But some interesting results at the weekend. And, let's start with your new club, Perpignan. You would have been watching, and a little bit of fight there away at Pope.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so happy to see that. There's a 2-week break now during this international period, and the team can go into it with more pride, and because they went into that game, they just fought. There's an injured 16 people on the injury list. They're struggling with injuries. They hadn't got a point before that. Lost a massive game against Montauban, the one we talked about last week. So yeah, to go there against one of the best teams in the league, and they could have won it at the end, was an incredible performance and the kind of desire I want to tap into as soon as I get hold of these guys.
There were 3 home wins that were sort of relative beatdowns. La Rochelle smashed Racing 92, Toulon smashed Lyon, and Bayonne smashed Montauban. Not totally surprising, but
yeah. I mean, Lyon are in a bit of a tricky place at the moment. Things aren't going well there. They could get dragged down into a bit of a dogfight. Montauban, we talked about Bayonne outclassing them easily. La Rochelle are looking like the old La Rochelle of Heineken Cup years now. We talked about their ambition to score more points, but the victory they had against Racing was one that looked like that old Heineken Cup team that could just crush you with their efficiency and ability to dominate possession territory and things like that. So yeah, they were really good against Racing.
Section Paloise snuck that win against Perpignan again to keep wagons rolling there, and Toulouse also beat Stade Francais. Those were the other home victories of the weekend. Any brief thoughts on those matches?
Not really. I mean, Stade Toulousain, we talked about the Perpignan game already. Good fight. Could have won the game. Pau will be disappointed in their performance, but hey, the Perpignan boys fought. Stade Toulouse, Stade Francais. Stade Francais weren't really in it. They got closer at the end. Stade Toulousain, just a steady away victory. But Stade Francais aren't looking that bad. It's just the interesting one for me, maybe Montpellier-Clermont. I think that's probably one of the biggest results of the week.
The away wins that we saw. I mean, firstly, a 7-9 match in Montpellier. Clermont have earned penalties to take that win away, and Castres losing at home to Bordeaux very narrowly as well.
Yeah, there's 2 teams there. Clermont are they're playing pretty boring rugby, but they're winning, I'd say that much. Montpellier, again, a team that's an arm wrestle team, and they've been close to losing a couple of times. They've lost a few away, and that losing yet another game at home is not a good start to the season for them. So they're coming down into the dogfight as well. And Castres, being a team who were at the start of the season they lost a home game. They look at a bit dodge, had a couple of good wins, and now again coming back down with a narrow loss at home to Bordeaux-Bègles. Yeah, they're going to be again a team that's now in a dogfight. So there's 3 or 4 teams that have split off from that pack. They're ahead. And they're nearer the bottom, they are the top.
Well, we'll put our focus back onto the top 14 after a couple of weeks of international rugby. Just one quick note of the Pro de Deux. Obviously, we've got some live rugby coming this Thursday to get the whole weekend's rugby underway. Brive are 9 games played, 4 wins.
Yeah,
Worrying signs.
Yeah, and they're the team with the biggest budget in the league. Good squad. It's just, yeah, things aren't clicking there. Because there's an old team of mine, I've got many friends who support Brive, lots of friends in Brive. I'm not going to say any more than that. I'm going to leave it there.
Well, correlation doesn't always equal causation, but I will just say Joe Worsley, not a Brive anymore. Moving on. Right, so we're gonna throw our attention to the weekend. We've got a massive game in Paris.
Can't wait.
I'm going to be there for that one.
You lucky bugger.
Yeah, I cannot wait, Joe.
Hang on, what couple of weeks you've had? Tell everyone what you've been doing in the last couple of weeks, Tim.
Well, I was in Chicago. I've literally just come back from Chicago. I'm wearing the clothes I was wearing yesterday when I left Chicago. And I was over there for the Ireland All Blacks game. And it was also a mate's 40th birthday, so I was over for that. And what a city. I mean, you only have very vague memories of Chicago. A long time ago, right?
I was 21 or 22. I've been 4 nights in Las Vegas and then went to Chicago. And I do have very blurred and vague memories of anything that happened in that period. But I remember enjoying it. What did you enjoy the most about Chicago?
Food's incredible, and proper American food. I had a classic Italian beef sandwich. In fact, I had it at the Mr. Beef shop. Or no, was it? In Mr. Beef shop, which is where they film, and the shop that inspired the TV show The Bear, which is a brilliant show. I'd recommend that. So I went and did that. I had a deep dish Chicago pizza, of course. I mean, the crust's so buttery. It's like 700-800 calories a slice. You can't really manage more than one, but it was awesome. And so I love that. It's absolutely beautiful city. Really, really picturesque, down by the river. The architecture's brilliant. It's a bit like Gotham, and a really good drinking city. Really good. Really good for the beers. There's different neighborhoods, all which have a really different vibe. Wrigleyville for Halloween, and then the Old Town and Lincoln Park. Oh, I'm definitely going back. And I gather from what I heard there that they're going to be staging games there. In fact, there's even talk.
What was Soldier Field like?
Incredible.
Absolutely
fantastic. I mean, yeah, cold open, but you've got the backdrop of the city there. It was a bit of a farce with the no TMO, and the big screen wasn't showing replays. The referee had to go into a little dugout. It was stop-start. The announcer was annoying because he kept just not really knowing what he was talking about.
Try and make you sing a 7th inning sing.
No. When the Irish fans started up with the Fields of Athenry, they'd then play some like pumping house music over the top, and just I don't know. It just they messed it up a little bit, I think. But apparently there's going to be Six Nations games going to possibly New York, Boston, Chicago, proper Ireland games over the coming years. So they're definitely in the build up to 2031 going to be making it more of a destination rugby match, and I would highly recommend a trip to Chicago. It was class. Loved it.
Awesome.
But this weekend I'm doing a 24-hour in and out Parisian jaunt from Manchester, just because I want to go and watch this game. So I'm flying in on Saturday lunchtime, and I fly back on late Sunday morning. So just basically 24 hours on the dot.
Brilliant.
I'll be in town.
It'll be smashing. I can't wait for it. I can't wait. I'm releasing a bit of content this week on the channel about, which we talked about last Thursday. We'll release it tomorrow, probably. I deep dived on the stats. I'm not a stat. I am a bit of a stats nerd at times, but stats don't always help. They kind of can explain things. There's so much they can't explain, but I use the stats to explain the journey that the two teams have been on since that match 2 years ago. That's why this game's so exciting for me, because that match 2 years ago was just one of the most incredible matches of rugby we've ever seen. France had 60% possession, yet South Africa won the game. Some brilliant defence, some brilliant moments from them. And the kicking game being one of the key factors. I think coming away from that, South Africa realised they probably need to be able to score more points and hold on to the ball more at times, or just to score more points. And France have realised that when the kicking game isn't right, then they can lose those kind of games they shouldn't be losing. But the two teams have been on a journey in the last 2 years. Yeah, and going through that with this bit of content. But I just can't wait for the match, because the two teams not coming up against each other for 2 years is epic. You're going to have a ball being there, buddy.
I was thinking about this actually. Uh, I spent Sunday in a bar watching the Chicago Bears play in NFL, and just generally the sport, and it did make me think about scarcity having a value. Like American football teams play 18 games a season, only 9 home games, and yet it's the most valuable league in the world. And has gone down this track of to get more money, play more games. But actually, I think you're seeing with this South Africa France rematch, we've had to wait 2 years, and the games between them are really far and few between. And that does build value. If you remember a few years back when England played New Zealand, and we hadn't played them for I think 5 or 6 years, and it was hyped up so much. So I think sometimes less is more, and this is one of those moments where, because we've had to wait 2 years for this instalment, it's going to be absolutely fascinating.
No,
But on
I
your
agree
point,
wholeheartedly in
yeah,
that, Tim. It's even you talk about the Prem in England. I say UK, the Prem in England. Is there any way reduce? It's only 18 matches. Like, is there any way of reducing the length of that season so they can just smash it out and have a final? And it's a short thing that people are hungry for when it does come around. I'm not sure. I'm not a commercial specialist, but hey, what you just talked about does make you think that.
yeah, interesting. And what you were talking about with the styles of play, that was something I was thinking off the back of the game between Ireland and New Zealand. Ireland have traditionally been a real possession team, keeping it for phase after phase after phase. And the trend with rugby, as far we've been talking about it on the channel for a while, it's moving away from that,
Yeah,
and it's moving to having more impact over those first half a dozen phases and in transition, and it feels like France and South Africa that's where they're at their
yeah.
strengths.
I think New Zealand have been on the journey as well, trying to become a team that's less reliant on their attacking shapes and hold on to the ball for long sequences as well. They can still do it because they're technically so good. But I think they'll be developing that pressure side of their game as well. So it's interesting to see, but they're still on that journey. Ireland, it's interesting to see what they're going to do because with Sexton being part of the reason, because he could boss it and be the kingpin to what they did. They were able to hold on to the ball, like you said, for many phases, but threaten that line. It's not just about holding on to the ball; it's about threatening the line. They're pulling defenders apart, going through holes. But at the moment, defenses have moved on. They can handle that much better. They can more pressure on you. There's more risk of Ireland turning over now because maybe they're not quite as accurate with their level of passing. The guy's position when he runs at the line wasn't quite as good as it was a few years back. So maybe they got a little bit worse. Maybe the game's caught up with where they were and taken it over. So they certainly need maybe either to ramp up and improve their ability to do what they've always done better or find a new tack, like New Zealand are trying to an extent, and like South Africa and France are trying for their game.
And you'll know this from being a defence coach. I always think of rugby as a little bit like an arms race. One team sort of develops one weapon or style of playing, and with Ireland, it was those intricate shapes which other people have kind of replicated. But then people react and adjust, and it's just that
Yeah,
constant
definitely.
evolution. That's one of the most interesting parts of rugby for me.
It is fascinating. Like when Wasps, we dominated for a few years. Our out and out blitz defence at the start was unplayable for the opposition. Fitness, physicality, good coaching, allowing us just to dominate. But then other teams, the way they kicked and the way after that, the way you started to bring in like a vertical layers on the back of your attack to put people into holes became just a new way of attacking that was far and made it virtually impossible to blitz like we were doing before. Had to rein our necks in with some areas. Yeah, it's how it happens. Someone evolves, gets ahead, everyone else has got to catch up. It's the 4 minute mile? I can't remember what he did now.
Yeah, yeah.
After he did that, everyone broke it, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
Bannister.
what's the kind of have you picked up on any sense of optimism or pessimism from the French public ahead of this week?
They're excited about it, but yeah, there's a lot of pessimism and worry around the tight head situation that we've talked about. A bit of nervosity, a bit nervous about not having Dupont, not having some of their best like Burros and people like that. And the number of injuries they have is significant. It's significant. But then South Africa have had their own little issues, no?
Oh,
The
no
Ox is,
Oxen
the
Chain now.
Ox is out.
So that might neutralise the loose head tight head matchup a little bit. So for sure that could help. Um, and the aerial battle. I mean, they must if they were in the French camp the last couple of weeks and they didn't play at the weekend, and I think that's the other concern I'm picking up certainly from across the channel is that this is the 10th game for South Africa since July, and it's the first game for France really with their first team since the Six Nations.
Yeah, I mean, again, not going to ruin the content I'm hoping you'll see tomorrow from my review of the last 2 years, but this France team, I started with a New Zealand game they played about a year ago when they beat New Zealand in Paris. It was their first game because the summer tour, all the big players have been rested like they had for the New Zealand tour this year. They didn't go to Argentina. They hadn't played for the similar amount of time as now, like 7+ months. In that game, they won it, but they won it with their kicking game. They didn't win it with their attack. The attack is one of the worst attacking performances of that whole block of 10+ games that they played together as a first team. I'm not counting New Zealand in there at all. So the last time they had a break like that, they had one of their worst attacking performances, yet they won it through just, I think, a bit defence in their kicking game. So I think it's going to have a big effect. They're not going to be the attacking unit they normally are, which means they won't score as many points as they normally can. So I think that will be a factor in the game for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, maybe we'll hop on and have a natter once the teams are announced because I think we're kind of all waiting for that one.
Yeah, damn right.
South Africa haven't named theirs yet either. So it's funny. Rassi Erasmus on Twitter follows one account. He has all his thousands of followers. He follows one account, and it's the French rugby account.
Serious?
So yeah. So it's just I think that's just a signal to say. It's just to hype it up even more. I cannot wait for this match. So maybe we'll do a little prediction and chat about it. But yeah, definitely subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for Joe's tactical piece on France against South Africa because this is a big game, no doubt. And yeah, so what's the next couple of weeks then? Like just a focus. 22nd of November, Perpignan play next.
Yeah, it's really interesting. When you come in mid-season, I did it at Cast. Came back from a World Cup and dived in. You just got to tear in, but you don't want to tear up everything that you come across. You got to work out what's good, what works, what you can keep, because you can't reconstruct everything. But that comes from talking to the coaches that were here before, the two that are left, and then talking to the players. Just talking to the players about what they see their game plan as being, where they thought they could be better, where they think they're already good and we should keep. So it's really fascinating when you first come in to start picking the brains of the people involved, and you start to pick out what you can rebuild from that. Okay, and you're going to take some of it, you're going to cannibalize what they got there already, that's for sure, and then just try and bring what you can to the party.
What meal did you have this evening in Perpignan?
I had a oven cooked, half an octopus oven cooked. It's a bit cruel, isn't it? After seeing that octopus thing where the thing's so clever, it's smashing food up, but it did taste good. I felt slightly bad. I had the salmon taco as well for starter. Seafood heavy.
Lovely stuff, right? We're gonna have to have a team trip to Perpignan. There's no doubt because that crowd. I've heard so many good things about the atmosphere at the stadiums.
It's so good. Our next home game has been moved to either Béziers or Narbonne because that's the punishment they have for that guy running on the pitch. And getting tackled against Bordeaux. No, Racing, against Racing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is a shame.
We've got a couple of weeks before we'll rip into that one. But yeah, keep an eye out for Joe's South Africa France content. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you join us Thursday night for more live Pro Dodo rugby. And we'll see you on the next video.